You get a 5% raise and feel richer. You celebrate, you upgrade your lifestyle. But inflation was 7% that year. You just lost 2% of your buying power while feeling like you won. Your brain sees the bigger number on your paycheck and ignores what that number can actually buy. You're counting dollars instead of value. And that mental error is costing you thousands. This happens every time you think about money. You compare prices to what they used to be and feel like things got expensive. You don't compare them to what you earn now. You see a bigger salary and feel successful even when it buys less than your old salary did. You get excited about a sale price without checking if it is actually cheaper than buying it somewhere else today. Your brain treats money like it has fixed value. But money only has the value of what it can buy, and your brain consistently confuses the number for the purchasing power. This is called money illusion. Research shows over 75% of people make financial decisions based on nominal values instead of real values. Your brain evolved when trade was direct. 1 fish for 2 apples. The value was obvious. Money is abstract. It's a placeholder. Your ancestors never had to track inflation or compare purchasing power across time. So your mind treats $1 like it's always worth $1. It sees numbers go up and assumes wealth goes up. It doesn't automatically adjust for what those numbers can actually buy in the real world. Your brain thinks bigger numbers mean more value, but it's actually confusing the symbol for the thing it represents. Here's how this plays out in decisions that drain your money. Your rent goes from $1,200 to $1,300 a month. You feel like you're paying more. You get frustrated. You consider moving. But your salary went from $50,000 to $55,000 in the same period. Your rent, as a percentage of income, actually dropped from 28.8% to 28.4%. You're paying less, not more. But your brain fixated on the $100 increase and missed the relationship between income and cost. So you waste time and energy being angry about a situation that improved, or you're choosing between 2 job offers. Company A offers $75,000 in a city where rent averages $1,500. Company B offers $85,000 where rent averages $2,200. Your brain sees the $10,000 difference and leans toward Company B. Bigger number equals better. But Company A leaves you with more money after rent every month. Your brain is so focused on the nominal salary that it ignores the actual lifestyle that salary buys. You take the job that sounds better and end up with less. And here's what nobody tells you about this. Seeing your bank account grow by any amount triggers a reward response, even if that growth is losing ground to inflation. The bias doesn't just make you pick wrong. It creates a cascade where you feel wealthy while getting poorer. You get your annual raise. Your brain releases dopamine. You feel valued and successful, so you increase your spending to match your perceived wealth. But your raise didn't keep pace with inflation. Your purchasing power dropped. Your spending went up. Now you're in a worse financial position than before the raise, and you blame everything except the mental error that made you feel rich when you got relatively poorer. The dopamine hit from seeing bigger numbers keeps you blind to the actual math. Your brain is running 10,000-year-old software on today's problems. Most people think this is about understanding inflation or being financially literate, so they learn what inflation means and assume they've fixed the problem. But that's like learning that optical illusions exist and expecting to stop seeing them. The real issue isn't knowledge. It's that your brain's automatic processing treats nominal values as real values. You can know intellectually that $1 today isn't worth $1 from 5 years ago. But when you see prices or salaries, your gut reaction still compares the numbers directly. Knowledge doesn't override the automatic response. You're fighting against neural pathways built for a world without abstract currency. This bias survives because seeing numbers grow feels good and adjusting for inflation feels like work. Plus, admitting you're not actually getting richer with your raises feels like admitting you're failing. And if you stopped focusing on nominal gains, you'd have to face the uncomfortable truth that your purchasing power might be declining despite your salary increasing. Your brain would rather celebrate the 5% raise than calculate whether it beat the 7% inflation. The illusion is more comfortable than the reality. This is the part that changes everything. You're not thinking about money. You're thinking about numbers that represent money. And numbers are easy to manipulate, while value is harder to track. A company gives you a 3% raise during 8% inflation, and you feel grateful because the number went up. They just cut your real pay by 5%, and you thanked them. Politicians talk about spending billions or trillions, and the numbers are so big, they become meaningless. Your brain can't process the value, so it just ranks the numbers. You're not evaluating economic reality. You're comparing symbols without understanding what they symbolize, and every institution that benefits from this illusion is happy to keep you focused on the numbers instead of the value. Once you see money as a representation of purchasing power instead of a fixed thing, everything shifts. The raise isn't good because it's bigger. It's good if it outpaces inflation. The expensive city isn't expensive because rent costs more dollars. It's expensive if rent takes a bigger percentage of what you earn. You stop asking if the number is bigger and start asking if the value increased. That's not pedantic. That's the difference between actually building wealth and just watching numbers go up while your buying power goes down. So the next time you get a raise and feel that surge of success, you'll know what's really happening. Your brain is reacting to a bigger number without checking what that number can buy. But now you can catch it. You can pause. You can do the actual math. Does this raise beat inflation? Does this salary give me more purchasing power in this city? That awareness is everything. You're not trying to eliminate the good feeling. You're just making sure the good feeling is justified by reality instead of by an illusion. You started this video thinking bigger numbers meant more money. Now, your brain confuses the amount of currency with the amount of value it represents. That's not a small shift. That's understanding why you can get richer in numbers and poorer in reality. You now know something most people will never figure out. What you do with that knowledge is up to you. Click the video on screen to discover why smart people make the dumbest mistakes.